The NDTV Debutant Director of the Year is Aryan Khan.
He's a storyteller who stepped behind the camera with a clear sense of purpose.
Ladies and gentlemen, a huge round of applause for Aryan Khan.
Aryan, many congratulations.
थैंक यू। सबसे पहले मैं अपने कास्ट, क्रू और नेटफ्लिक्स को थैंक यू कहना चाहता हूँ, जिन्होंने एक फर्स्ट टाइम डायरेक्टर पर इतना भरोसा किया और मेरे साथ इतने प्यार, मेहनत और एंथुजियाज्म के साथ काम किया। कंग्रेचुलेशंस टू ऑल द विनर्स टुनाइट। ये मेरा पहला अवार्ड है एंड आई होप मुझे और भी बहुत सारे अवार्ड्स मिलेंगे, क्योंकि मेरे डैड की तरह मुझे भी अवार्ड्स बहुत पसंद हैं। पर ये अवार्ड उनके लिए नहीं, ये अवार्ड मेरी मॉम के लिए, क्योंकि मेरी मॉम मुझसे हमेशा कहती है जल्दी सोना, लोगों का मजाक नहीं उड़ाना और गाली गलोच बिल्कुल नहीं। और आज इन्हीं सब चीज़ों के लिए NDTV ने मुझे ये अवार्ड दे दिया। So thank you NDTV for making my mom the happiest woman in the world. And I know आज घर जाके मुझे थोड़ी कम डांट पड़ेगी। Thank you.
Proud to say the actor of the year, female, I'm sure you all know, Janhvi Kapoor.
Huge round of applause for Janhvi Kapoor. Congratulations, Janhvi. Thank you all for joining us. Janhvi, if I could request you to stay back. My colleague Aryan is waiting to have a chat with you.
Many congratulations, Janhvi. Give her a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Before I ask my questions, of course, give us the acceptance speech, Janhvi.
This means a lot to me, and it's my first award for this very special film that I've done, and Neeraj sir, my director, is in the audience today. It's ironic because I did this film really without wanting anything in return or having any sort of expectations, which is something that you seldom do in the industry that I come from. And so it really is ironic that this is the film that's given me the most, and I don't mean in tangible ways like the awards or the recognition or the crazy world tour that the film has been on, but I mean in the ways that it's made me recognize the person that I want to be, the kind of artist that I want to be. It's made me sensitive to, I guess, the cracks in our society, but also the unimaginable hope and goodness in it, the beauty in it, the terror in it, the division in it, but also the unity in it. And for all of these reasons, I'm extremely grateful to be a part of this journey. I'm extremely grateful to Neeraj sir for seeing something in me that on most days I can't even see in myself. And I really think that's what this film is about. It's about seeing people for what they really are and feeling seen. And that's really what we hope that you take away from this experience. That's what I took away. So yeah,
Sure.
Thank you.
We had a tiny little thing for you to see. If we can have that AV play out for Janhvi, please.
Devi's back, better than ever before. She's our Entertainer of the Year. Devi, just to say, when Bollywood heroes get older every year, their heroines get younger. You've changed that around. Thank you for the compliments. Do you hope that's going to happen more often? Do you hope that's going to happen more often, that we see heroines of substance actually take center stage?
Well, things are changing, and I'm hoping for the best. And even the producers are willing to make films different. So I'm really wishing all the best for them.
Janhvi, 2012, and now cut to 2025. What does this make you feel?
I didn't know this. I don't think I recalled that she was here, but I could tell she was very excited about the honor. And one thing that we definitely have in common is that we're both very nervous speakers on stage, clearly. But no, this was so special, and thank you so much for sharing this with me. I think that as a public person and having this part of my life be such a public aspect of it, I'm sort of forced to put on a brave face and behave proper and polite and, you know, not too emotional or not too personal about things. But this was a very personal moment for me, and I'm so moved by it. And this award is such a special award. Like I said, it's my first for Homebound and all of that, but this made it even more special. So thank you so much.
So the award in the Sports Performance of the Year goes, and very befittingly, to the Indian women's cricket team.
A huge round of applause, please.
Folks, imagine this is the stadium. Can we have it up for them? Come on. Woo!
Can we have a warm round of applause, please? I don't know so much about the others, but when the finals was going on, I must tell you, Harmanpreet, Jemima, Amul Saab, that we had tears in our eyes when the match was going on. That's how special this was. A very warm round of applause for these very special girls, please.
थैंक यू सो मच आज हमारी टीम को ये अवार्ड देने के लिए आई थिंक हम सब के लिए ये अवार्ड बहुत मैटर करता है बिकॉज एज यू ऑल नो कि हम लोग कितना हार्ड वर्क कर रहे थे अपनी कंट्री को प्राउड फील करवाने के लिए और फाइनली यू नो वी हैव कम टू दैट पॉइंट वेयर एवरीवन इज़ सो प्राउड ऑफ अस सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल थैंक यू सो मच और रही बात मेरी तो आई थिंक बहुत प्यार और रिस्पेक्ट मिलता है इस टीम से और बड़ा मज़ा आता है सबके साथ खेलकर और सबके साथ हार्ड वर्क करके और या आई मीन आई एम सो प्राउड कि मुझे अपॉर्चुनिटी मिली इस टीम को लीड करने के लिए और जो ड्रीम हम सब ने इतने सालों से देखा उस ड्रीम का पार्ट बनने के लिए सो आई एम जस्ट सो ग्रेटफुल सो थैंकफुल एंड आई मीन इससे ज़्यादा मेरे पास वर्ड्स नहीं है बट आई एम सो ग्रेटफुल.
इस टीम का गुंडा कौन है? इस टीम में सबसे ज़्यादा मतलब स्ट्रिक्ट कह लो या फिर मतलब वो जो डोमिनेट करता है वो कौन है?
तेरा ही नाम ले लिया. वो तो खौफ है. नहीं, आई थिंक ऑब्वियसली डरना नहीं बोल सकती हूँ मैं क्योंकि हैरिदी की रिस्पेक्ट करते हैं एज अ कैप्टन और वो हमेशा सबको लेके चलते हैं और हमें पता होता है कि लाइक उनका सपोर्ट है तो हम इजीली सारी चीज़ें अचीव कर लेंगे.
अमूल, ये तो बहुत डिप्लोमेटिक हो रहे हैं. आपसे भी थोड़ा सा टफ सवाल ही पूछूंगी मैं. टफ ही है, पहले ही बता देती हूँ. आपका फेवरेट कौन है?
Indian women's cricket team.
Oh, of course, that's our favorite. No surprises in that.
The Actor of the Year award goes to Vicky, Kaushal.
NDTV Indian of the Year 2025. Entertainer of the Year is Vicky, Kaushal.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a very warm round of applause? You know, and we got a sense of how power-packed his performance is. Most people who come into an audience take some time to warm up and to get started. Vicky Kaushal was in the lift. Half the function had already happened. The girls had sung, they had danced. He came down and on cue, whoo, he brought the show together. That was quite fantastic. Congratulations.
शुभांशु, अगर आपकी बायोपिक के लिए एक कैरेक्टर को चुनना है, एक किरदार को, एक एक्टर को चुनना है, तो आपकी चॉइस कौन है?
See, now that Vicky has said that he would like to play me, nothing else comes to mind. So, you know, I think he would be a great.
It'll be an honor,
do
sir.
a great job.
It'll be an honor.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
The Director of the Year award goes to Neeraj Ghewaan.
Get a huge round of applause, please, for Neeraj Ghewaan.
कुछ फिल्ममेकर ऐसे होते हैं जिनकी कहानियां थिएटर में देखकर हम शोर मचाते हैं, पर कुछ ऐसे होते हैं जो हमारे अंदर शोर जगा जाते हैं, जो शायद थिएटर से निकलने के बाद हमें सोचने पर मजबूर कर जाते हैं, कैमरा बंद होने के बाद अंदर के इंसान को जगा जाते हैं. मसान से होमबाउंड से आपकी कहानियां ऐसी ही हैं. बहुत सारे सफल लोग यहाँ पर हैं, लेकिन जब होमबाउंड हम देखते हैं तो हमें लगता है कि वो जो सफलता के पीछे खामोशी है, वो जो कुर्बानी है, उसे आपने एहसास झकझोर दिया। ये अलग फिल्म में क्यों? मसान, होम बाउंड?
देखिए, क्योंकि मीडिया में या मेन स्ट्रीम मीडिया में अगर कहूँ तो कहानियाँ जो बोली जा रही हैं वो शायद सिर्फ 15% पॉपुलेशन की बोली जा रही हैं और शायद वही लोग अपनी कहानियाँ बता रहे हैं, लेकिन रेस्ट ऑफ इंडिया उसकी बातें कोई नहीं कर रहा। People who are marginalized, people who are in the villages, people who come from different backgrounds, their stories aren't being told. So I thought that why shouldn't I look at it? Because in Hindi cinema or across media, we see that most of the stories are limited to the 15% population of India, and we're ignoring a large percent of the population. Maybe that's why.
Yes, the award for Transformational Leader of the Year goes to Shah.
Leadership isn't only about preserving tradition, it's about having the courage to change the game. Shah did just that.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a very warm round of applause, please, for Mr. Jai Shah, one of his very rare media appearances. Stays as far away from the camera light as anyone I know. Can we have a warm round of applause for this special moment and for this special achievement? Mr. Shah, congratulations for winning the NDTV Transformation Leader of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause before the acceptance.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, Honorable Chief Justice Sir, thank you so much. Thank you, Sanju Bhai. Thank you, Pranav Bhai. I would like to thank NDTV and jury for this honor and respect. And I would like to dedicate this award to all our girls who won the World Cup. And I would like to add one more name, Mr. Majumdar, because you are also contributed a lot, so it's dedicated to you as well. आप सब जानते हो कि 2019 के बाद बहुत सारे चेंजेस हमने विमेन क्रिकेट में किए। डोमेस्टिक की फीस हमने 700% तक बढ़ाई। हमने WPL लॉन्च किया। WPL अकेले से टुगेदर स्पॉन्सरशिप, मीडिया राइट्स एंड टीम, we raised more than 6,000 crore rupees. That is due to these girls only. So congratulations for that as well. हमने पे पैरिटी भी किया, ODI, T20 और टेस्ट। ODI में पहले ये सारी लड़कियों को 1 लाख मिलते थे, आज 6 लाख मिल रहे हैं। T20 में 1 लाख मिलते थे, उसके 3 लाख मिल रहे हैं, और टेस्ट में 2.5 लाख से 15 लाख मिल रहे हैं, और उसका परफॉर्मेंस दिख रहा है। आप सबको मालूम नहीं है जमीमा, हरमन, कि आपने मेरे घर का रूल भी तोड़ दिया है। मेरे बच्चे यूजुअली 9-10 बजे तक सो जाते हैं, तो फाइनल के दिन दोनों लड़कियां मेरी 2 बजे तक जगी थी, और एक लड़की तो मेरे साथ फील्ड ऑफ प्ले पे आई थी। तो आपने उन लोगों को भी एक एस्पिरेशन दिया कि वो भी कल उठ के क्रिकेटर बन सकती है, तो थैंक यू सो मच फॉर दैट एज वेल।
Debutant actor award goes to Ahaan Panday. Our favorite.
What a smashing debut, ladies and gentlemen. Can we have a warm round of applause as we welcome our debutant of the year, Ahaan Panday. Ahaan, come.
Bollywood, Ahaan Panday. Huge round of applause for Ahaan. Ahaan, this way, please.
Sorry, ma'am.
Congratulations on the award and congratulations on the incredible love for Sayara. First big film, first big wave. Life must feel very different now.
I actually thought I would say a few things. Is that okay if I...
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. It's your moment.
Actually, looking at this reminds me of the first medal I ever won when I was, a child. It was for a 100-meter race. It was a silver medal. And I remember my dadi and my mama had come to watch it. And I was very frustrated because it wasn't gold. And I went up to my dadi and I said, why didn't I win that gold? I deserve the gold. And I remember some time passed and she came back to me, my grandmother, and she told me that it's not about winning medals, it's about finding what you love and putting all your heart into it. And she said that if on that journey you do win a medal, then you go up on a stage, you put on a smile, and you make sure you don't give the audience a sob story. And now, some time has passed, and I'm standing here in front of all of y'all with this in my hand, with only one single silver medal to my name. And I know I owe this to Mohit Suri, Aneet Padda, my wonderful co-actress, the whole team of Sayara, Sumanna, Sankalp, all of you all were wonderful, but I know I owe this to my grandmother. She's not here anymore. She's somewhere up there in the Milky Way, beyond the galaxy. But I know she's dancing because I found my calling, and this might look like silver to you guys, but I won my gold. So thank you.
NDTV Science Icon of the Year goes
Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla.
3, 2, 1.
Warm round of applause
And lift off.
for the rock star. And the award for NDTV Science Icon of the Year goes to
Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla.
3, 2, 1.
Warm round of applause
And lift off.
for the rock star. You know, we've had some Bollywood stars in the mix today. I think most people would agree that this is as handsome a hunk as it gets. Can we have a warm round of applause, please? Come. You know, I'm a Fauji brat, and growing up, the complex that you had was for Air Force officers who looked and spoke like that, right? And a lot of people in the Indian Army have that as well. So congratulations. Where's the award? Please, sir. Congratulations.
This guy here is 5 years younger than me, but I'm still not going to call him Shuks or Shubhanshu. He's Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla, because to earn that rank takes a lifetime of service. So salute to you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Incredible privilege to share a frame with you here. I'm going to start it off by asking you, do you miss space?
No, absolutely. I would take any chance to go back.
If you're given an opportunity to go back, like in the next few months, your family will have no problem with it, just go back?
I would probably do what I did the first time. I will not tell them, and I would apply. So they would, of course, have a problem with me going.
Yeah, you know, see, Group Captain Shukla, from the time that you were announced as an astronaut till the time you blasted off, there were lots of delays and hiccups and things like that. During that time, did your family, try to talk you out of it? Were there moments where they were, ye kya ho raha hai?
No, actually not. And I'm so thankful to them. They have been extremely supportive, even though at times, they feel that, tension and anxiousness, but they have never let it come out. But I will tell you one thing, I will share you. When I splashed down and I came back to India and I met my mother for the first time, the first thing that she said to me was, कि बेटा बस अब हो गया, अब मत जाना. So I think that feeling was always there, but they have been extremely supportive, and I have never felt anything from their side but support.
I want to spend a couple of minutes talking about your parents and especially your mother, because when we were in the NDTV newsroom on the day of your blast off, there was one person who was monitoring you and the rocket, and there were two people saying, you stay on Shuks' mother and let us know when to cut to her. So we had your mother on one half of the screen. She was an incredible hero of the day that day as well. Obviously, you couldn't know it that day because you were blasting off and you were busier with other things. But we had a fully zoomed in view of your mother and the incredible human emotions that came out that only a mother can feel, and all that anxiety. Did that, was that something that was playing on your mind, how your family must be feeling as you blast off into the unknown?
I think there is a very real understanding of what the mission is and what the risks are, and it is not just upon you to understand that, it is also for the family to understand. And that is why, you don't go to space alone. You go, it takes a lot of people and a lot of support to go. My parents were here, they could not travel to US because of, like you said, there were a lot of delays, so they could not be there. My wife was there watching the launch from the launch pad. So these feelings are of course there. But the beauty is that the support system is so strong that you don't really think about it when you are actually doing the mission, because then you are compromising on what you're doing. So I think it is not only the strength and courage on the part of the person who is going, but also on the part of the family, who is there to support him in doing what needs to be done.
Since you talked about a team, you're a fighter pilot, Group Captain Shukla. So you're all alone in that wonderful cockpit that you're in, right? So this is a bit of an unfair question. Fighter cockpit or spaceship where you're with others?
No, I have a great answer to this question. Space missions take some time, about 3 to 4 years before you launch. So there is 3 to 4 years. So when you have to go to space, you sit in the spacecraft and go. And when you're on ground, you get into the fighter cockpit. Yeah. So get best of the both worlds. So you don't have to choose one.
Yeah, you've been asked very often, and I've seen some of your past interviews, you're constantly asked about what does zero gravity feel like? But I noticed that nobody's asked you what that blast-off moment actually feels like. And I actually did some research on it, and very few people have asked astronauts that. What does it feel like to actually blast off? Because you are no stranger to G-forces. Being a fighter pilot, you go through it all the time, right? What was that like? How do you compare the two? And, the blast-off moment, describe that for us.
Yeah, it was very interesting for me because, like you said, I was no stranger to this feeling, engine lighting up behind you and you getting or going to the sky. But the sheer scale or the magnitude of this was totally different. I remember the minute the engines came on, it was like, you getting a question paper in your exam, you forget everything that you know. Blanked out. And it just blanked off for some time. It was really powerful and extremely fast for me, because you are going from 0 kilometers per hour to 28,500 kilometers per hour in about 8.5 minutes. And that kind of acceleration I had never seen before, in spite of being very familiar with this. So it was very exciting, and it was very surprising as well for me.
The build-up to the blast-off, Group Captain Shukla, was filled with some nervous moments. We at NDTV are very proud because we were tracking it. I'm sure you know this. We were tracking it more closely, almost like a live commentary until it actually happened. The oxygen leak issue that delayed things, where we are so proud that it was ISRO that stepped in and exercised a great deal of caution. What was that like for you? Because you were dealing with life and death decisions being taken at a very high level to keep the rocket on the ground, launch it a little later. Tell us what your emotions were at that time, because you must have been very keen to get into space at that time.
Oh yes, I was. The quarantine was so long that I did not want to spend any extra day in the quarantine and just get launched to space. But I am from the Indian Air Force, right? We also fly machines, and the seriousness of the business, about life and death is very real to us, even in aviation. And whenever you're going for such missions, everybody involved, not just the person who's sitting on the rocket, but everybody, the entire ground team and the support staff, everybody realizes the seriousness of what we are doing, and so there are no shortcuts, and this is understood very well. And so every day there used to be a briefing for us, what is happening, what is going to happen, what is the possible course of action that is going to be taken. And when everybody is satisfied, that is when we'll say, okay, let's go for launch. So I think it is very clear to us, yes, it is, moments of anxiousness, but you understand it well and you deal with it in a very methodical manner to reduce the risk acceptable enough for everybody involved.
We saw that lovely moment that you had with Vicky, Kaushal, where he said that he'd love to play you. I'm sure that's crossed your mind. Like Rahul was saying, you've already got that rock star swag. You're totally killing it in a leather jacket. I'm sure you've thought of being, portrayed in a film at some point.
No, I had not thought about it before today when Vicky said that he wants to play me in a film. But now that he has said it, I can't get it out of my head.
Yeah. I'm going to leave it there, Group Captain Shukla, but just one final thing, because this is something I'm curious about, which is that people say when you go to space, you become a better person. You look at the Earth and you think, we are quite insignificant in our individuality. Did you become more philosophical after this space trip?
I think it is very natural. it will be difficult for me to convey it to everyone, but I think it is very natural because, and I came up with this analogy, like when we are small kids and we start going to school, our sense of identity comes from our home, our parents or our siblings. And when from school you start going to college, your sense of identity comes from your school. I'm from such and such school. You introduce yourself as that. And then as an extension, when you leave your city, go to some other city, your sense of identity comes from your city where you belong from. And as an extension, you leave your country and go to some other country for work, like I was in US last year. Your sense of identity comes from your country. You're representing India. And as a very natural extension, and it'll be difficult for you to probably imagine that, but when you leave the planet and you go outside the Earth, your sense of identity comes from Earth and not from anything else. So I think it is a very natural extension, and you may call it philosophical or spiritual or whatever, but all of this is termed, under something known as overview effect, which is just a very different perspective or a vantage point that you get to look at Earth from the outside.
Your mother may have said, "Bas ho gaya, Shubhanshu," but all we Earthlings can wish you is your next space flight very soon. A big hand for Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla.
Thank you.
And the winner is
Manvendra Singh Shekhawat.
The NDTV Indian of the Year, Climate Impact of the Year, goes to Manvendra Singh Shekhawat.
Thank you, Manvendra, if you can stay on.
Fantastic work that you are doing. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
I just want to understand from you, how did this whole project, Dhun, how did it come across and why have you named it Dhun?
Dhun was named by my colleague, and the whole idea of Dhun really came about because living environments have a profound impact on determining human outcomes. And while we cannot change the accident of birth, if we can design environments that can give people the freedom, inspiration, and resources to manifest their truest potential, what could that look like? And in doing that, if we lean into traditional knowledge systems and technology, and build something on first principles, I think we can create environments that are far better than what we live in now.
So, the sustainable project that you are talking about, I was reading it's about, it's also trying to scale up to about 8,500 people, those who can in fact sustain with that project. Is it scalable? Is it a model that can be implemented for future sustainable cities? Because, we are seeing how our development in cities, we are in Delhi, all of us have been talking about pollution, coughing, worried about our children. And with a project like yours, is it something that can be scaled to a larger level?
So the playbook that I am using is not a new one. If you see any indigenous community around the world, they have built their communities and sustained their communities that have worked and that have lasted on very similar principles. Water certainty, building with nature, around nature, not against nature. Developing not at the cost of erasure of identity.
All right, moving on now. Our next category is Science Icon of the Year.
And the awardee is G. Madhvi Lata.
Brought science, patience, and precision together. The Chenab Railway Bridge, now the world's highest railway single-arch bridge, stands not just on steel and concrete, but in years of relentless research and resolve. Acknowledged by the Prime Minister, Dr. G. Madhvi Lata.
Many, many congratulations, ma'am, and a huge round of applause. This is for everyone who thought that women don't do science. First of all,
Ma'am, right for starters, what an iconic picture. You have to tell us all the story behind this picture because you literally had 1,000 stories on Instagram, 1,000 memes behind that one picture on the Chenab Bridge.
Thank you so much. First of all, I would like to dedicate this award to Indian Railways for their vision, commitment, and hard work in fulfilling our country's dream of connecting Jammu and Kashmir with the rest of the country by train. And I also share this award with every engineer who has contributed to this iconic national project. Thank you so much. And about the picture that you have seen, which has become viral in media, the picture was clicked by my daughter when I took for the first time my family to show the bridge. And it was not thought to be for any media. It is a very personal picture, but that became viral. I'm glad it actually inspired many girls in the country. Thank you.
There's a story. After this picture went viral, Professor Lata went on LinkedIn. She wrote a post saying, please don't make me unnecessarily popular. This is not to my credit alone. I mean, here you had a bridge, which is a marvel of the world. It's an engineering marvel. You worked on it as a consultant for 17 years. And then when the whole world is talking about it, the first instinct was not to say, yes, bring it on, get me the cameras. It was to say, please don't put unnecessary focus on me. Who does that, Professor?
No, we all should do it. It is the truth that there are like thousands of people who worked for this project. There are construction companies, engineers, many people worked for this project, and I'm not the only one. I keep saying that. Yes, I contributed significantly to the most critical part of the bridge, which is slope stability and foundation design, and I own it up. But at the same time, I don't want to take the credit of others who have worked equally hard or more than me. So that's the truth.
So I have to put the spotlight on a young man who's quietly sitting there, Professor Lata's son, Shaurya, right there. Shaurya, you know, in our country, it is a standard that when your parents are achievers, everyone's focus is on you, that you have to better them. So how high is the bridge that you are now being expected to make by your relatives and by your mom?
I'm obviously very proud of my mom, and when I went to see the bridge, it was a huge, it's a very big moment. A picture cannot do justice to what
Any pressure on you yet?
Pressure? I mean, no. I mean, my mom and my parents have always been very supportive in my journey. I can choose what I want to do in my future. And, through her busy late night project, she's always there for me, dropping me to school, making yummy festival food. So I think that I'd like to, my mom was always there for me and the whole family. So I'm always grateful to her.
You can't be a super successful scientist and a super mom. You're making it very difficult for the rest of the women over here. But in conclusion, before I let you go, Professor Lata, that picture broke the internet. Can we have it back on? Because Professor Lata has promised to recreate it here for us on NDTV Indian of the Year. Let's see it.
There it is. There it is.
Thank you so much. A super scientist, super mom, and very, very sporting. Huge round of applause for Professor Madhvi Lata.
Ladies and gentlemen, for 2025, the NDTV Indian of the Year honor goes to the Indian soldier. A big round of applause for the Indian soldier. Our soldiers from the Army, Air Force, and the Indian Navy. And what I can tell you is that what you're going to be seeing in the next few moments is an incredible collection of the bravest of the brave. But before that, a quick look at what really made the biggest story of 2025.
They stand as an unbreakable shield of resolve, forged in a flame of duty and sacrifice. In the grim aftermath of the horrific Pahalgam terror attack, Operation Sindoor laid bare their unbreakable purpose, a thunderous strike executed with surgical precision and breathtaking courage that shook our adversaries to their core, for epitomizing the ideals of valor and selfless service. the NDTV Indian of the Year belongs unequivocally to the Indian Armed Forces.
Be joined on stage by Air Marshal Ashutosh Dikshit. He's the Chief of India's Integrated Defence Staff. In this officer, ladies and gentlemen, is embodied the best of the three armed forces as one. He belongs to the Air Force, but he embodies what jointness means and what Operation Sindoor really symbolized. The three armed forces coming together in an incredible joint mission against a rival.
And you know what's really important, and I think this is something that people across our country must appreciate, that Op Sindoor was a tri-services win. It was the forces working together in absolute synergy, which in a sense defined what the outcome eventually was. And that really is the big goal for our armed forces going forward. So what we'd like to do at this stage is to invite some of the bravest sons of India. And ladies and gentlemen, what I can tell you is that on Indian news television, Shiv, I don't think there has ever been an occasion when we've got so many Veer Chakra winners for one mission, for one operation, a large one, Op Sindoor, 88 hours, but they're all over here, and we are delighted to have them come up on the stage. We'll announce their names. Shiv, you want to start?
Colonel Koshank Lamba Veer Chakra, please come up. And a big hand as I call out the names, please.
Come, sir. Lieutenant Colonel Sushil Bisht, Veer Chakra.
Naib Subedar Satish Kumar, Veer Chakra.
Group Captain Manish Arora, Veer Chakra.
Group Captain Kunal Kalra, Veer Chakra.
Wing Commander Joy Chandra, Veer Chakra.
And Commander Saurabh Kumar, Nausena Medal Gallantry.
So as we promised you, never, perhaps in Indian news television, have we had so many Gallantry Award winners, Veer Chakra winners, Nausena Medal Gallantry Award winners on the stage, and we feel so privileged to actually have this moment in front of all of you, because there
Vishnu,
is nothing that fills us with
can
more
I make
pride
a small
than
request
our
first?
forces. Yep.
Can we have a standing ovation? You've got Veer Chakra awardees from the Army, Navy and the Air Force. This has never been seen before on one stage.
This truly is a goosebump moment if ever there was. You know, Vishnu, Shiv, Padmaja, our teams track the armed forces very closely. We've had Bollywood stars, we've had singers, we've had cricketers, but nothing beats having the Indian soldier and so much collective individual bravery up on the stage on behalf of the NDTV team, and more importantly on behalf of every single Indian citizen, for your bravery, for your valor, for what you did on the battlefield. Thank you so much. We're all very, very proud of you. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, be seated. Air Marshal, I must ask you, as somebody who works towards the integration of the armed forces, how is jointness not just the present, but the future of what we must work towards?
Okay, so this jointness, we started just after Kargil in real earnest, though it was there earlier also. It took off when CDS was appointed, and in last 3 to 4 years, we have worked very hard to achieve this jointness, and the result is there in front of you. Jointness is not a slogan, it is a lot of activity, it is planning together, it is taking action together, it is taking responsibility together, and communication, control of escalation ladder, and all these kind of things we have now learned to do together. A small example we have seen, and in years to come, you will see more and more of it.
And now really the moment all of you have been waiting for, a snippet, if you will, of the experiences of these brave men, right? Some of their memories, their most intense experiences. The questions are limited, but I assure you the answers are profound. So let me start with Colonel Lamba. Sir, the citation is long. I won't get into that. But in Op Sindoor, in what you were involved in, what is the one lasting experience or memory?
Although, if I have to say, every moment I spent in Op Sindoor has been etched into my memory in very, very firm way. However, if I have to dig out and pick and choose one memory which will probably stay with me forever, it would be the moments just before the operations was launched. We were in the gun area and there was a calm. Just before the operations were launched, there was a eerie calm, which was a calm just before the storm we were about to unleash. In that moment when I spoke to my men, I was apprehensive and I was probably thinking I would find fear or confusion or apprehension. However, when I looked at my men, I saw a lot of josh and I saw a lot of confidence in their training, and I saw a fire which was there from the youngest of soldiers to the Subedars and Naib Subedars, and that was the fire which we unleashed few moments later. And that's probably one memory, that calm, and then that calm transforming into a storm. That's probably, I'll keep it.
I'm going to invite Rahul to ask the next question, because Rahul, as everyone knows here in the Forge, of course, remembers very fondly Rahul's late father, Brigadier Gurmeet Kabul, was a veteran gunner, someone who was incredibly interested in the art of warfare, wrote extensively about it, was generous with his knowledge. The soldiers and officers you see here, Rahul, were on the line of control, directing some of that fire. Your father would have been so proud today.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, I'm hugely emotional. We don't usually bother with photographs or talking to these Bollywood stars, or you're never awestruck. But when you meet a Veer Chakra awardee, and when you meet a Paramveer Chakra awardee, whether it's at the Army Day function or anywhere else, you almost instinctively feel the need to stand up and salute their valor. And I just want to say thank you to the Chief of the Defense Forces for allowing for all of them to come here and be a part of this very special moment. What you've done for our country, many of the stories are known through your citations. A lot of it is not known, but it really makes all of us as citizens extremely, extremely proud. And yes, not just my father, I'm sure every single person, man, woman and child sitting here would be extremely proud of what all of you have done.
Group Captain Arora, the Air Force was very visible during Operation Sindoor for obvious reasons as well. But what was your most memorable moment? It was intense, it was extremely high octane, it was short, but there was a lot of preparation before that as well. It seemed to work like clockwork. What was it like being on the inside?
Well, it was intense, isn't it? It was really intense. And there were a lot of memories which we have. One of the memory which keeps on coming back to me, and probably I'll take it, it'll take forever for it to get erased from my memory, is this is when we are going for our first mission. And I walk into the briefing room, similar to what Colonel Lamba has just explained. Now these young women and men are sitting over there. There is, that day that room was slightly different. There was that unsettling calmness or some kind of stillness in them. When we saw each other in the eyes, it was understood that we are the answers for the tears of those 26 families who lost their innocent ones.
What we are doing over here is we are honoring the armed forces. There isn't a trophy over here because they were doing their jobs. So it is an honor of the men and women in uniform who play a critical role day in and day out. Operation Sindoor is in the news for obvious reasons, but I can also tell you that 365 days a year, whether there is a war or no war, these men and women in uniform are working constantly, whether it's Hadar missions or humanitarian aid missions which take place, rescue missions which take place, missions against terrorism which take place, which unfortunately are all too common, high altitude deployment scores, a lot of consternation. It is very, very difficult on the mind, on the body. Deployments out at sea for extended periods of time, these are also challenging as well. Commander Saurabh Kumar, Nausea Sena Medal, gallantry, representing the brave Indian Navy, the proud Indian Navy on this panel. What was your most memorable moment in the last year or so?
First of all, thank you very much for bringing me here and standing here in front of all other gallant officers and soldiers from sister services. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The most memorable moment started the moment my squadron gave me a team, and immediately thereafter, the first thing that came in mind was, flying in front with the Josh which the team had because of the results which started coming in on the TV. And that was the most memorable moment. And one personal thing I would like to bring out here. When I landed in night, so it was mid-past night, it was my 10th marriage anniversary. So I got an immediate call, and that gave me a very personal touch which I'll never forget.
So wife ne kya bola?
Happy marriage anniversary.
No, one of the amazing things about the Navy, you may be wondering why there's only one person from the Navy here. That is, we're privileged to get and be able to host any number of these soldiers. But like one of the group captains said, this is just a small fraction of the number of Gallantry Award winners from Operation Sindoor. That was the sheer scale of the valor and bravery that was shown by men and women in the armed forces. But before we end, I do want to acknowledge one thing, that when we salute and thank each of these officers and soldiers, please let us never ever forget that they've got incredible families standing behind them.
Yes, a warm round of applause for that.
People, mothers, fathers, children, wives like Commander Saurabh's, who must have spent, weeks of sleepless nights with their, loved ones on the front line, inside angry cockpits, firing missiles, firing weapons. So every soldier that Vishnu and I have ever met has always known that for a soldier to be able to fight and defend, they need an incredible family behind them, and all of them do. So thank you to all of your families as well. So thank you.
And before we end this evening, I also want to say a big thank you to everyone who's joined us here at the NDTV Indian of the Year. This is the 20th time that we've assembled for this marquee IP. It's been a spectacular evening, and not just to the families of the soldiers, but to our producers back in the studios, our producers in the production control room here, our fantastic videographers, the entire team that brought this together with such clockwork precision. It's almost like a military force by itself. You've seen the depth and the diversity and the talent of the NDTV team through this evening, and we're very thankful to all of you, our jury, our partners, for being here, and most of all, to these very brave women and men from the armed forces for doing their job and doing it so well and making us all so proud.